In this video, we're going to discuss the statistics that you would do for a within subjects design. In particular, we're going to discuss the statistics you would do for a dependent variable that's using the interval or ratio scale of measurement. So when we're comparing two means, so again, we have one sample because it's within subjects, but maybe you have a mean before and after an intervention, or you have a mean at time 1 and time 2. And again, we're talking about the interval or ratio scale dependent variable. And again, one factor with two levels. So for example, the visual illusion experiment that we've talked about. The lighting of the room is our factor, and it has two levels. The first level being a dimly lit room, and the second level being a brightly lit room. So that means that we have just two means to compare. When we have two means to compare, we can do a simple t-test for two related samples. And another way of referring to this is a repeated measures t-test. Now again, we had kind of some of this interchangeable language with between subjects designs as well. So try to keep those two straight. So a t-test for two related samples, or repeated measures t-test, which makes sense because you're repeating that measure across those two means. So this is just what the analysis would look like. You go to Analyze and SPSS, you come down to Compare Means, and you go to your Paired Samples t-test. So here's another term that's coming up that's a little different than what we've had here, repeated measures and two related samples. It's a Paired Samples t-test. Now when we're comparing more than two means, again, we're still talking about our interval or ratio scale dependent variable, but now we have one factor with more than two levels. Like you'll see in the lab that you're going to do for this within subjects design part of the module, your one factor is going to be the degree of virtual head rotation. That's the factor, and it has three levels. It has accurate, understated, and overstated. So accurate is your one level, overstated is level 2, and level 3 is understated. So it's one factor, the degree of virtual head rotation, and three different levels. There we have more than two means, so we can't do a t-test. Do you remember what kind of analysis we should be doing when we have an interval or ratio scale? An ANOVA. But now it's a repeated measures ANOVA. And just important to note that this is a single factor ANOVA. Again, we have one factor with more than two means, so we're going to do a repeated measures ANOVA. And that's what you're going to do in your lab. So again, just a screenshot of what SPSS would look like. You would go up to Analyze, General Linear Model, and come down here to repeated measures and enter in your variables. And we'll go through, there's some videos and things for the lab that will help you along with that. Now again, if we were to have a nominal or ordinal scale of measurement for our dependent variable, we would have to do different statistical analyses, and that's beyond the scope of this class.